It's a secret that the government, the streets, and even society's education side has been holding from us, or better said, waiting for us to go and grasp. But since some of y'all didn't get to go, because of whatever things might have deviated you guys in your life, I'm gonna be the one to pay you guys back, So basically, what I've learned is that all these videos have been basically inspired. They've been inspired by pressure. Now, pressure, you wouldn't think that it's so easy to find, but it actually is. It's actually abounding in the body, and it's, let's just say, vital pressure points, So for those that are feeling pressure in their life, their vital pressure points are what's causing that pressure to be felt. Now, I'm not talking about conscience manipulation, We're already done with that, Now we're talking about presence, So once they can't get to your head and to your consciousness, what's left? Your presence. So all these nerves are basically what they've been accessing to get me to make these videos, Like it started with temple, my temple basically. I mean, it was all about trying to control my conscience, trying to manipulate the thoughts that I act on, the direction that I respond based on ideas and beliefs that I just filtered through. So all these things were being studied. Now, my temple, it's the meningeal artery. Basically causes disorientation, Then there's the carotid sinus. Basically, that's like the face. Those are baroreceptors that help regulate your blood pressure. Carotid sinus, no? Yeah, it sounds like it. The side. So then there's the solar plexus, that's the sternum. Remember I told you guys, it feels like my chest is getting heavy all the time, It's my solar plexus below the sternum. It's a nerve, the celiac plexus. It basically causes temporal paralysis of the diaphragm, which means like you're not breathing like you normally should be. It's disorientated breathing, in other words, Then there's the jaw. Have you guys ever yawned and felt like some big old ball of energy is about to like explode out of the bottom of your jaw? Well, that's the mandibular nerve area, It's basically head stability. It can also cause loss of balance. So if you guys have ever yawned and felt like your loss of balance happened when you felt that sudden sharp pain under your jaw, then there is the groin. Which is basically major disruption, You're walking like a female is what they, like you to focus on rather than, or even walking like an animal, Anything as long as it's not man-related, because they don't want you achieving manhood, Just a perspective. And then there's their favorite place. The brachial plexus, the necks and shoulders, basically makes me feel like my arms are paralyzed, temporal arm paralysis, There's a nerve bundle there that they could basically use to cause that, And then the last but not least, the lower back. If you guys have heard of me constantly telling you guys about rooting yourself or grounding, that's your lower back. It's basically your kidneys being attacked, or the energy that surrounds that being manipulated, so you can like I say, it's all so you can self-harm yourself, basically, because nobody wants to take the blame. They just want you guys to know how to hurt yourselves, but never achieve it, especially if it won't hurt.